Hey everyone, happy Saturday. Hope you all are doing well, staying safe and healthy. So in this video, I want to go over the new syllabus that I just uploaded to D2L. But before we get into that, I want to show you a website that I forgot to add to the last video. So this is the Virginia Employment Commission, and these are some Q&As on unemployment claims related to the coronavirus. So if you or your family is struggling right now because of a loss of a job or reduced hours, you can visit this website, which I will post in the comments, email you, and then also post on D2L. I know that a lot of my friends right now are struggling because they work in the service industry and or in arts, gig work. So I know that this can be a really difficult time for people. So I wanted to give you some information just in case this would help you during this unprecedented crisis. I feel really lucky to have a job where I can still teach you from online. Okay, so here is the new syllabus. So I'm just going to go through it with you all and show you everything that's been changed, but it is obviously on D2L and I will email it to you as well with the link to this video. So all the changes are in blue. And I have my virtual student hours outlined. So here's how you can join a Zoom meeting with me. So I'll just be here on Zoom, and then you can click on this link, or you can call in from a regular telephone if you don't want to do the video conferencing. And then if you want to download Zoom, you can, but I've made it so that you don't have to download anything in order to have a Zoom conference with me. So if you click this link, it should just take you to a browser version if you don't have Zoom downloaded. So Wednesdays from 1 to 3, I'll be on Zoom, but also on D2L chat, which I outlined for you in the last video. Also, of course, if those times don't work for you, just email me and we can set up an appointment. I can send you a special link so that we can video conference, or we can just email back and forth or chat on D2L. Okay, so in terms of assignments, we'll talk about this in a second. So as you know, for your presentation that's due on Tuesday, you're just going to be turning in your PowerPoint or Google Slides presentation with an accompanying document outlining your talking points. So what you would have said had you presented. Because of the extra week of spring break, there were things that needed to be cut. So I had to cut the final presentation. So this 15% is now going to be added to your final research essay. So the final research essay will now be 30% of your grade. So that's very similar to last semester for those of you who had me last semester. And then attendance. So I have kept track of your attendance and participation up until spring break, but I'm not going to be requiring any synchronous participation for the rest of this course. So you may have seen those words on course descriptions before, but not known what they mean. So a synchronous class means that you would meet at a designated time every week, on a video call, say. So if we were doing synchronous, we could hypothetically meet during our normal course times on Zoom, which some of my courses are doing that. But I've gotten a lot of feedback from the survey that I sent out, and some people do not have access to internet. And so I don't want to make it more difficult for those students to learn. Um, so I don't think it would be fair to force a synchronous learning environment onto somebody who does not have internet. So we are going to be asynchronous. So that means we do not ever have to be together at the same time. Okay. So I'm going to be available for you during student hours as normal, but you're not required to meet during student hours. So to make it as easy as possible for people who don't have internet and are, needing to go somewhere else to get internet or use data, something like that, I've made it so that all of our due dates are due on like a weekly basis every Friday. So I do have a note here saying that I realize that this pandemic is a legitimate emergency for many people. So I will be lightening my late policy. So if you need to turn something in late, please just email me to let me know so that I can keep track of grading. It's hard when people turn things in late and don't let me know. I can just, lose track of the grade if I've already put a 0 in because it was late. So if I don't receive notice about needing an extension, I can't guarantee that I'll grant you one. So please do just let me know if you need an extension, and I'm happy to give you one. So as for, we'll talk about that in a second. As for the class calendar, here's what I've done. So here's the extra week of spring break. And then I've just converted this into weeks. So week 9 is going to be research essay 1. So your outline for the research essay is due on D2L under assignments Friday, March 27th by 11:59 p.m. So each week you're going to have a Friday deadline. So the next week, week 10, research essay 1, now draft 1 is going to be due Friday, April 3rd by 11:59 p.m. and so on. So then this week we're going to do online conferences with Zoom. So we'll all sign up for different times and I can conference with you about your paper. And then your final draft will be due that Friday, April 10th. So then we're going to move on to research essay 2. And this is going to be annotations of 5 sources. So you're doing research, and this is basically going to be like we did for the last essay, right? When you turned in those sheets of paper that had, the topic, the author, and a little bit about what the article was saying, and then the APA citation. Right, so annotations for the 5 sources that you're going to need for the research essay 2. And then the next week, we have draft 1 due on Friday. Then we have conferences again. And then you have a little bit more time between draft 1 and the final draft, right? Because this is a full week, week 14, and week 15 is exam week. So you don't have a final exam, of course. So your final research essay is due May 6th on D2L by 11:59 p.m. So this is, I have a note here that says this is completely uncharted territory for all of us. So please keep in mind that some of these dates may need to change if it becomes clear that the plan I have put in place right now is not working. So if that becomes the case, I will contact you immediately via email and also post updates on D2L. So back up here in terms of accommodations and making things accessible. So I'm trying my best to make this class as accessible as possible. That's why I've been trying to do videos, also write out that information, send you, like a typed version and an audio version. And I've figured out how to make captions on the videos. So if you want to turn captions on, you can use captions. And so what I'm going to do moving forward is try to have a video of myself giving you PowerPoint, right? So I'll share my screen like I'm doing right now, and then show you the PowerPoints while I'm talking, but then also have that information written out in a transcript. So, you know, that way we have the accessibility for people who like to hear and see information. And we also have it accessible for people who maybe do not have the internet capabilities right now to watch a video. So in that case, you can simply read the transcripts of everything that I'm saying. And you'll also be able to look at the PowerPoints because I'll post the PowerPoints themselves without the video attached to it. If anything else does come up in terms of accessibility issues, just let me know, and I am happy to work with you in any way possible, because if, you know, as we know, universal design is better for everyone, right? So if we make the class more accessible for all people who need it, then everyone is going to benefit. Okay, and then the last thing here, I just added if you're experiencing negative circumstances because of being away from campus, you can contact me and the Dean of Students. So there's the link there and their phone number. Okay, and then, let's go to our shell and look at this announcement. So I've put the student hours Zoom link up here. So these are all the dates and times, and then you can just click on this link here. So, okay, I hope that this has been helpful. And I really miss all of you. It's really hard not getting to see you all in class. It was definitely like the highlight of my day would be getting up and seeing you all and making me laugh and seeing you all learn and have these like aha moments. So I hope that we do get to video conference and that it all works out so that I can see you and see how you're doing. All right, stay safe and wash your hands.